about
Just
polio?
stop. So let me ask you a question, Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. Are you saying that we shouldn't
Don't do that. Don't call me Mr. Scientist. I'll start mocking you, and it's so much easier to mock you.
So are we
Please
not?
stop.
Yes. No, I won't. I won't.
No,
I know
Bryan,
you think it's
Bryan,
just.
Bryan,
I've heard Susan Humphreys.
This is a long conversation that we're not going to have on this podcast because I'm going to get angry because I've researched this for years.
Right.
Let's just
But you're not a scientist.
I don't have to be a scientist to know that.
Yes, you do.
No, Bryan, shut the fuck up. I don't have to be a scientist to read research. Bryan, you don't know what the fuck I'm saying. You don't.
Well, I know because you don't want to talk about it.
Bryan, I don't want to talk about it in the middle of a podcast because it'll completely derail the podcast. And I'll start showing.
Where's Okai from?
From your mother's pussy.
Hey, that's out of line. Hey, that burn is too far.
All right, so Joe Rogan is not having a great run lately. It feels like every week he's either getting fooled by some AI video or doubling down on a conspiracy theory that even Jamie is telling him is fake. He'll wave it off and still say, yeah, but it could be real. That's peak Rogan logic, but what's rare is when one of his own buddies calls him out in real time and refuses to let it slide. That's exactly what happened on the latest JRE Fight Companion. And you could see Rogan start to crack. The last time we saw anything like this was probably that Steven Crowder episode years ago. Remember when Rogan mocked him for suggesting weed caused more traffic accidents, only to take it back later? That was one of those moments where Joe's confidence melted in real time. This new fight with Bryan Callen gave us a similar vibe, except it was live, no editing, no cutting the awkward parts, and that's what made it hit harder. Now, Rogan and Callen go way back. There's history there. Years ago, Callen tried a tough guy gag with Schaub, acting like he'd show up at anyone's house if they talked shit. Rogan shut it down immediately, told him how he was hanging with the wrong people, and the clip has lived online ever since. This weekend's stream added a new one to the collection because Callen called Rogan out directly for pushing bad info about vaccines. Here's why I think this was planned. Callen and Schaub both moved to Texas earlier this year. For months, Rogan never mentioned them, never invited them, basically ignored their careers sliding further into the ditch. This stream was their first time back in the Austin studio. And Callen is infamous for fishing for viral moments. When he's on JRE, he's done it a dozen times, so you can't tell me this wasn't calculated. He knew Rogan couldn't edit the live stream after the fact. Once it happened, it was out there forever.
But the bottom line is, biology is really simple. Double X, XY. Sometimes there's a mistake. Sometimes there's an error and you get XXY.
There's
but
overlap.
it's super fucking rare.
Yes.
What this is a social contagion. And Abigail Schreier wrote a fantastic book about it called Irreversible Damage that she highlights how they're happening in these clusters of a lot of girls who are autistic.
Yes.
How come 1 in every 12 kids who's a boy in California has autism now? Because that's what's going on. That's what's going on in California, which has one of the strictest fucking vaccine policies. 1 in 12. Did I say vaccines cause autism? Maybe I will have
Well, Florida doesn't demand vaccines
Yeah,
for kids.
that's dangerous to me.
Yeah.
I knew you'd jump on that train.
Of course it's dangerous, Brian. What are you talking about?
Tetanus,
vaccines.
So
Tetanus,
Tetanus,
should we
no,
still-
no,
should
no,
we
no,
just
no,
go down
no.
the road we're
You
on?
need to bail on the tetanus thing because
What do you
Suzanne Humphreys.
Educate his ass.
Suzanne Humphreys explained tetanus.
She's not a
She's like,
vaccinologist. I know that woman. What are you talking about?
all you have
So
to do
you're
is
saying
keep the wound open and clean it.
Oh, that's
you
such
don't.
bullshit.
It's not
Oh my
bullshit.
God,
it's
what
not bullshit.
bullshit.
Do you know how many people die of tetanus
Holy
every year?
fucking
Very
shit.
few.
What about
Just
polio?
stop.
What about
Just
polio?
stop.
So let me ask you a question, Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. Are you saying that we shouldn't
Don't
have...
do that. Don't call me Mr. Scientist. I'll start mocking you, and it's so much easier to mock you.
So are we not... So you don't believe in vaccines? You don't think we should have vaccines?
It's not that I don't believe in vaccines.
What are you saying?
It's I
shouldn't
don't
have
think you
74.
should give a kid a Hep B vaccine when they're a baby
Different
because
subject.
they don't test vaccines in a double-blind, placebo-controlled
Hold it,
setting.
hold it.
They test them against other vaccines. You know that, right?
Yes, I do. Excuse me. Let me just say something. Yes, you're right. You can make the argument for Hep B. Here's why. Because the chances of a child coming in contact with the kind of activity that causes Hep B is different. What I'm trying to say to you is that there are certain diseases. Pick up a history book. Smallpox, diphtheria, mumps. Hold on,
Have
hold on,
you
hold on,
ever?
hold on.
Polio, please
Yes.
stop.
No,
You
I
don't-
won't. I
no,
won't.
No,
I know
Brian,
you think it's
Brian,
just. I've
Brian,
heard Susan
Brian.
Humphreys.
This is a long conversation that we're not going to have on this podcast because I'm going to get angry because I've researched this for years.
Right.
Let's just
But
not.
you're not a scientist.
I don't have to be a scientist
do.
to know that.
Yes, you do.
No, Brian, shut the fuck up. I don't have to be a scientist to read research to understand that they were spraying DDT all over the fucking country when everybody was getting polio. Do you know that?
Yes.
Leo.
Do you agree with the following statement? It's not just.
I'm not going to do this with you,
but
Bryan.
it's not just about.
I brought up
It's not
vaccines,
just
thought that'd
about.
be a
Hold
fun
on,
debate.
hold on, Joe.
No,
it's
Bryan,
not
I don't want to do this with
But
you.
it's not just about.
We're in
is
the
it-
middle of a fight companion. It's,
All right.
it's annoying.
All right, but it's like. Yeah.
Joe Rogan really let the mask slip when one of his own friends actually called him out live on air. For years, we've heard Rogan brag about wanting open conversations with people he disagrees with, claiming he's just asking questions so the audience can figure out what's real and what's fake. But most of us already knew that was just a gimmick. The reality is, Rogan sits in his ivory tower wrapped in ego and bubble wrap, acting untouchable while shutting down anyone who dares push back. And if you were still on the fence about who Joe Rogan really is deep down, this clip should settle it. Rogan loves to present himself as an expert in a handful of areas. He talks like an MMA authority despite never having a professional fight. He calls himself a stand-up veteran, even though most of his career was bankrolled by Fear Factor and Spotify money. And in recent years, he's crowned himself an armchair scientist, weighing in on vaccines and immunology despite never stepping foot in a lab. And you could see how frustrated Rogan got because normally he can lean on Jamie to fix it in post. Not this time, and that's why the clip went viral instantly. Meanwhile, Schaub looked completely lost. The guy clearly didn't know what Callen was doing. Brendan sat there kissing Rogan's ass for hours, nodding along to everything, then suddenly blurts out that his kids aren't vaccinated. Come on, that sounded made up on the spot just to impress Rogan. And the contrast was brutal. Schaub bending the knee versus Callen actually pushing back. Also sitting in the corner was Gordon Ryan, basically watching this chaos unfold like a tennis match. The funniest moment came when he questioned why Rogan and his crew keep sniffing smelling salts in the middle of a podcast. Finally, someone said it out loud.
Who wants to do some smelling salts?
Okai's good. This guy's good.
Okai.
Who wants to do some smelling salts?
Chuck one over here, Jamie. We got some? Here we go.
Where's Okai from?
From your mother's pussy.
Hey, that's out of line. Hey, that burn is too far. Joe and I always have these arguments, Gordon.
Yes. Oh, this one's weak.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a little old.
Oof.
It's a little old.
Get you going, though.
I don't. So what are the like?
Look, we got 7 of them over here.
Besides,
God, get you some, Bryan. Get that big
besides to watch
fucking dick nose
Besides to
on
watch your friends suffer, what are the actual?
I don't know. Let's find out. Pop one of those. See if it cures your tummy
there.
ache.
It wakes you up, though. It might help your stomach.
Or could make me nauseous? We'll see.
Yeah, if he fucking projectile vomits on the Buddha.
Great.
Don't do it, well, Gordon. You might throw up.
That's good for you.
This one's basically dead.
What is it actually supposed to do though?
It just jolts your system and like
This guy got
power
him
lifters do it.
he's got like,
Just
he's
get
got
your
like
adrenaline
15 of
going.
them laying around every place I go.
Yeah.
You go to the green room, he's got like 30 bottles
I
there.
love
He
him
comes
myself.
out.
Everybody addicted to the
he's
I
like,
know.
everybody-
Once
he's
you
like,
once you
"Give us a
gave
smelling
me it,
salt."
I was like, I want more of that shit. Once I do it once, I want to keep doing it.
It's just supposed to wake you up.
Yeah, it'll wake you
I
up.
think
Guys
it-
that do it before they lift super heavy,
Yeah.
go for
So I
like
know that.
PRs.
Why
I
don't
think
we
it
fucking
spikes
do it
your
right now?
adrenaline.
Just a party. Hey, just to get away from the vaccines before Rogan kills Bryan. I brought it up. Feel bad.
I was hoping you right after he sniffed it, Bryan was going to bring vaccines back up. Flip the table over.
Dude, Joe and I,
another thing.
told you I didn't want to do it. Joe and I used to have arguments about acting class. We'd get in shouting fights.
He used to tell me that vitamins weren't necessary.
Oh yeah.
Vitamins aren't necessary.
Yeah,
This
he'd
is
be
a
like,
fact.
I
I'm
talked to a
taking
doctor.
fucking vitamins.
He
Like, I
told me
talked
the
to a
vitamins
doctor.
don't work.
The
They don't do
The
anything.
battle of conspiracy
This is me
theorists.
and him at a fucking restaurant in Seattle. Bryan, will you please shut the fuck up?
Yeah, but then I started taking vitamins and I called him up and I go, dude, I feel great. He goes,
Yeah.
fucking I know.
I wish you could go back in time and not take vaccines. You'd be like, why am I so healthy? I never got psoriasis. This is crazy.
Hey, shut up.
Turns out I had autism the whole time.
So, yeah, this wasn't just another JRE live stream. It was a glimpse behind the curtain. Rogan hates being challenged. Schaub will say anything to stay in his good graces. And Callen will sacrifice him for a viral moment every chance he gets. That's the real comedy here. Anyway, let me know what you think. Was Callen actually brave for doing this, or was it just another clout-chasing stunt? Drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.